passion.
Yeah. So why Ujjwal today? Because as we already heard in the intro from him, he's taking a very unconventional route in the career. And as I already said, like I get inspired a lot by him. So let us start with Ujjwal's story, how the unconventional thing started and when.
I think these seeds were even before IIM Bangalore. I think I read an article in Fortune magazine on social entrepreneurs, and it covered Dell Foundation, it covered Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and I said this is interesting. We always read only about business tycoons and their exploitations. We never hear about this. So I think the seed was there. Um, when I was going steady with my fiance, then I wrote about what I'll do in my life. And when I decided to write that, I wrote about, hey, I come from a philanthropist family. I would do ultimately something in the social sector. So, and was written in IIM Bangalore. I got engaged in IIM Bangalore. I had my PPO, so I decided to get engaged early. Um, yeah, so the seeds were laid then. The seeds did not fructify for 20 years because you need money in the bank, right? So I was always having this urge. I think the urge really started 10 years back. कि कितना money चाहिए बैंक में to decide when to give up your corporate boots. Spoke to a lot of finance guys. Now I did not get the answer. Then I came across something called FIRE, Financial Independence to Retire Early. I said, this is interesting, man. There is a maths to it. And the maths to financial independence to retire early is simple. Your annual expenses into 25 times is the number. If you have that in your bank or your net worth, then you can decide to pursue your passions. I'll tell you the maths in more detail. Inflation is 6%. Post-tax return on stock market can be assumed at 10%. So 4% is your real return. Are you with me so far? Yeah, 4% is real return. So if your annual expenses is 20 lakhs, so at 4% means you need to have 5 crores. 5 crores ka 4% is 20 lakh. If you have 20 lakhs, if you are spending 20 lakhs a year, you need 5 crores of net worth. And let me tell you, whatever my net worth was 5 years ago has tripled in the last 5 years because you make significant savings in your second half of the career, right? So your money and wealth happen in the second half of the career, not in the first half, right? So don't give up your passion कि नहीं यार पैसे कमाने हैं, loans pay करने हैं, expectations of in-laws निभाने हैं. Don't do that. You will make big time money in the second half of your career, right? Again, I repeat, my net worth increased 3 times in last 5 years. The stock market has also been one of the reasons for the good returns, right? So you don't have to wait till retirement. A lot of people think retire करने के बाद जाना है. The magic number would be in the range of 7-8 crores. If you have the net worth, you are game, guys. Move to your next S curve, right? Don't wait till retirement. You'll be too old, not having energy, and the passions don't require advisory services. They require hands-on work, right? So that's the story.
So how is it going now? Like the India Autistic Center, how it happened?
So the India Autism Center happened very interestingly. It happened because of IIMBA. The Anagatam event that you were talking about, which Subhanshu, Kasturi and I were part of. India Autism Center was a sponsor of the event, was a principal sponsor of the event. They paid 1.5 lakhs, and I said, why? Why are you paying this? And they said, hey, we want to create an institution which is going to be as big, as good as IIM, and we want to hire people from the IIMs. So when I was thinking, when I had a change in boss and my boss wasn't someone I really enjoyed working with, I decided this is the time to hang up my boots. I approached them, and I got the job like this. So from start to finish, uh, from the first interview to joining them was 14 days. Right? They said, "Hey, are you willing to take a pay cut?" I said, "Yes. Yes, I've taken a pay cut of 65%,
That's a big decision.
but still covers my annual expenses." So yes, take on it. I take care of fundraising and partnerships. I was always responsible for relationship building in my earlier roles. I enjoy doing that. I see a lot of 24 batch here who want to spend their time. We have open internship for 1 month also for you guys, especially if you guys want to intern. Yes, we have an opportunity.
So what is the plan ahead after this? Like I know the story, like you said, like there's a bond with them for 3 years and all, but like the story after this.
I am really enjoying the place, guys. I think the culture of a NGO is very different from this. It is more spiritual than anything. Okay. One of the values, for example, is think no evil, do no evil, and which is very much like my religion. I'm a Jain. बुरा ना सोचो, बुरा ना करो, बुरा ना देखो is one of the tenets on which my religion is based, right? So I think it's very spiritual place. Give it a chance, guys. Give it a chance to volunteer. There are a lot of subcommittees are going to be formed. Our opportunity to volunteer, that gives you an opportunity to move out of the corporate and try out new things. You will find your calling somewhere, and that's what happened with me.
Exploring is important.
Exploring
right?
is very important.
Get to know where we want to be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So like all the decisions you took, including the pay cut of 65%, what is the support of family that you got?
Oh, it took me 6 weeks to convince my wife. She said, no, NGOs is going to be political. You will not survive in that. She interviews people, so she's interviewed a lot of Padma Shris. So she told me it's very political, guys. Ujjwal, you will not be able to survive. I am pleasantly surprised. I think the new age NGOs are great places to work. Give it a try, guys, at least like volunteering. And you want to volunteer for any cause within autism space, please get in touch with me. I would. And those interested in teaching, so I have taken an advisory role with an institute called Bengal Institute of Business Studies. If you're interested in being a guest lecturer or being a speaker, just to inspire people, let me know.
Any particular message for the audience? A lot of young kids are there, right? So you already said to join the internship for 1 month. That is something came up. And anything else that you would like to tell them?
I am a khatkadi, guys. Right? We get into a rat race. Even if you win the rat race, you're still a rat. Right? So go off the beaten path, try, explore, see what you what you like. You may not know because right now our work is sapping 14 hours a day. We don't have time to think, reflect. I ask many consultants, how's life? They say, where is life? So that's the reality of our jobs. But I think volunteer, explore, you might find your calling earlier than retirement.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I think it's been a privilege. Thank you so much.
Any questions for Ujjwal?
So beyond the institute that you are working with, right? What are the, at least in this whole space, can you just broadly give us like what categories of institute? I know you are working very specifically on autism, right? But are there other categories within the NGO space which one can look at? How just an overview of the space and how it looks.
East India is still developing, so the maximum problems are in East India. So a lot of NGO work actually happens in East India. Tata Trust, one of the biggest philanthropic organizations, the maximum number of events or activities or outreach programs happen in East India. So any problem you have, I think there is a NGO for that. Be it water, sanitation, menstrual hygiene, depend on the cause, guys, and I can connect you to the right people there. Whatever you're passionate about, lives, livelihoods, there are NGOs for every damn thing. So yes, we can connect based on your passion.
You mentioned that we can volunteer, measurement time-wise. Is there, how else can we support you? I know that you once mentioned that you also have a task to raise a huge fund.
Yeah.
How can we support you, or how can this group support you in that?
That's a very interesting suggestion. Let me think and come back. But fundraising is something we can do. We can raise, do an event which to raise art for charity, book for charity, various things we can do. I need to think and come back. But you've created a good thought in my mind. Thanks.
Any other questions, anyone?
One question regarding fire. What is your asset allocation look like?
50% debt, 50%
Another very good advice I got from him very recently, right? I've also been, I think all of us have that in our mindset, right? Somewhere the figures could be different, but we have a certain number where, beyond this, we will not be working for money, right? And that's the idea, right? None of us want to stop working permanently and just laze around, I guess, but stop working for money, right? That's why he was also telling, right? Have to be a little patient and you will build up your wealth slightly later on in your career, not maybe in initial phases. So I'm always trying to learn from him.
And I think the fire itself was like very helpful. I guess now you will start thinking.
One question I have for Ujjwal, I don't know whether I left you know it was asked already. What made you choose Kolkata as the adopted home?
Well, it was very reluctantly I came here. When I got the posting here, I said, "Nahi, Delhi bhejo na yaar, Calcutta kyun bhej rahe ho mere ko?" Right? Because I was opening in Delhi also. I think I came from Bombay. I hated the city because of the traffic jams and the infrastructure it creaks. Here, I think it's safe. Traffic, even 11 years ago, I used to reach the same place in 20 minutes. Same 20 minutes it what it takes in the similar neighborhood. So traffic hasn't increased. Safe. It's clean. Temperatures are best. You see winter. Don't see so much of summer. People are nice, and you're a big fish in a small pond. Believe me that. I got my big openings, big breaks in my career because I was a big fish in a small pond. So that's a big thing about this. We'll do something about the carrier services, guys. I think a lot of people in the rear want to make Calcutta their home. If they have opportunities, we'll do something about that. And by the way, Atanu was my bouncing board in my journey. So each step I took a decision, I would bounce it off with him because he has a similar journey, right? Now he is a full-time into teaching as his passion and training as his passion. So thanks, sir. You made the decision easy for me. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.